Hello, y'all. I'm back. It's 2:47 p.m. So, of course, for the past couple of days or past few days, I haven't been able to eat the best nutrition. So, I'm feeling the sleep deprived feeling, and I'm probably gonna try to take a nap after this video. So I didn't write anything yet today. Maybe later. But yeah, I'm feeling sleep deprived and slowed down and tired. So I'm pretty sure that I'll say now former co-workers at the job, they're probably gossiping and laughing at me behind my back, you know. And so I guess at the moment, depression. Well, actually, even yesterday, I felt it coming on. You know, feelings of depression settling in. You know, depression and high anxiety. I can feel it kicking in. So, my mind isn't clear at the moment because of the sleep deprivation. And so, yesterday I had 2 peanut butter sandwiches. I don't remember what time it was. It was in between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m., sometime around there. And then about 30 minutes later, I was weak and hungry again. And then after that, well, somebody from Spain had donated me, you know, a little bit of money, and I got me, you know, a little bit of dinner, and then I was still hungry. So even right after the dinner, I had another peanut butter sandwich. And so I did a lot of twisting and turning last night, but I think I got some sleep, but I'm still feeling sleep deprived. And I'm mentally and physically, my mind and my body don't feel right, and I feel weak. And all I ate today was the last 3 peanut butter sandwiches. And now, you know, I have just a little bit of peanut butter in a jar and no more bread. And all I have, I don't know how many pennies I have, but I guess I have under 30 cents in pennies and 1 nickel. I have pennies and 1 nickel that's under 30 cents in total. I don't know how much exactly it is. And I have only 24 cents in the bank. Only 24 cents in the bank now. So, I mean, and narcissistic abusers, They bully and abuse you. And then when you stand up to them, oh, all of a sudden you burned your bridges from people who, quote unquote, trying to help you. When they weren't trying to help you anyway. If growing up, I had to deal with being just abused and put down. And everybody else in society, you know, when you deal with somebody who is seen by society as strict, they're a self-righteous, holier than thou, you know, narcissistic abuser. Anytime you see somebody who's hard and mean, like the mean teachers at school, who everybody called strict, and they feared that female teacher like as if she's God or something. That's a narcissistic abuser who's highly narcissistic. And probably a witch too. So, people would have described the abusive fake foster mom as very strict. No, she was abusive and fucking evil. You know? So, and somebody who's seen by society as strict and don't play, yeah, that's a narcissistic abuser. Or if somebody wanted to show, quote unquote, tough love, that's narcissistic abuse, you know? So, and the foster mom and the foster stepdad's fake slutty daughter, Danielle, you know, used to bully, harass, and lecture me up, trying to tell me that I'm going to grow up to be homeless, living underneath the bridge, and wondering where my next meal is. While defending my twin sister bullying and abusing me. And falsely making it like as if she's innocent. And everybody wants to be inclined to believe my twin sister's lies when she's been deceiving and lying and playing games for years. My voice always been muzzled and silenced ever since childhood. You know, and it's always with them trying to falsely make it like I'm lying on my twin sister, or I'm the one who's, you know, I'm the one who's, you know, treating my twin sister bad, or I'm the one who's so evil and hateful. When it's the other way around. When the bully plays like they're the innocent victim. Y'all muzzled my voice of truth since childhood. So, now today is a day where me being punished with just peanut butter sandwiches at 38 years old. Children even have more money than I do. I've been living in extreme poverty all my fucking life. All my life. From birth till now. And still being called greedy. How the hell if I'm a homeless poor person and being called greedy by somebody who has high income? So, you know, the online perps trying to call me greedy and stuff. It's like I held off from eating until my body couldn't take it no more. And I felt so weak physically. And then I ate the last of the 3 peanut butter sandwiches. Normally, I would have ate 2. But I don't even know if I'll get lunch or dinner to eat later on. I don't even know if anybody will help me out. But the perps make slander campaigns lying and saying that Candy is rude and curses out everybody who donates to her. Or Candy blocks everybody who donates to her, which is not true. I already explained to y'all the games some of the perps play. So, you know, as I said, I'm probably gonna die and still nobody's gonna care. And I'm probably gonna die And they're still not going to believe me even after I'm dead, seems like. Because y'all are so mind controlled. So now, I'm on the verge of emotional meltdown or wanting to cry. Just thinking about some of the abusive things told to me as a teenager, in high school and stuff. Now I'm sitting here. I may not even get to have dinner to eat tonight. And then people love to falsely look for loopholes to try to make like as if I'm a liar. Oh, well, I thought you said you had only 30 cents. Or I thought you said you had this much money. Or I thought you said you had this. Or I thought you said you had that. And some things I might have forgot. Like, I just now remembered I forgot on that other card. I forgot that I had $5.06 on it. But I can't use the card for some reason. If I try to buy something that's $4, and it's saying, I have $5.06 on the other card, and I have $5.06 on that card, and then when I try to buy something $4.10 or something, then it will say insufficient funds. So I don't know what's going on with that, but if the card did work, that money would have been gone too. It's just only $5. So I'm letting y'all. I'm not even just trying to worship food or talk about food or nothing. I'm just letting everybody know where I stand in my homeless situation. So, and everybody just looking for a reason to make me out to look just wrong about every situation that I go through, or make me out to look like a bad person, or just looking for some reason to point fingers, and hunting for a reason for me to make me guilty about everything. And always siding with the other person against me. I'm always wrong. I'm never right in every situation with somebody. People start with me and I stand up to them and defend them, and I'm still considered in the wrong because, you should have had enough common sense to keep your mouth shut. But then if I stayed quiet, I'm the fool because I should have stood up to that person. And they said, well, don't let them walk all over you. So, ow, my hips hurt. So I don't even have money to do laundry or nothing. I have, I forgot that I had $1.10 value on a bus card. So, and I'm too physically weak, and I'm too mentally and emotionally fragile to face the public outside. And I feel like all I want to do is just sleep. So, earlier, YouTube had something wrong with the comments section where comments couldn't be displayed for about 2 hours. And now it seems like it's back to normal. And then they had somebody, I'm not going to say who it was, that, I'm subscribed to very few targeted individual channels. I can count on my hands how many people I'm subscribed to that's supposedly targeted on this channel. So I'm not gonna say who this person is, but then later on, after I realized the comments were back working again, I think that the person's supposed to be Christian and targeted and telling everybody how to stop sinning and all that. And I discovered that it seemed like as if my comments kept being censored. Then I realized I think I was blocked. And that's what I mean. I mean, it made me feel so discouraged. Because, I blocked him because I thought he blocked me. But I don't know. I'm confused on what's going on. And that's driving me crazy. No, all professed Christians want to do is block you and separate themselves from you. And they're supposed to be targeted too. And Christian. And they damage you. They damage you even the worse. And all they would do is, walk around town showing their city. Or they will just sit behind a desk and talk about the program. Don't talk about their personal experiences. And then narcissistically glorify themselves as God's chosen. Or they drive around in a Tesla all day talking about how great God is. And they call themselves God's chosen, elect, and targeted individuals and empowered individuals. And chosen ones. And, while they think they're too good and think that, one sin and another Christian's like, we're not supposed to be sinning, but come on. What make you think that you can't walk around acting like you think you're totally free from sin? Because you're deceiving yourself. But, they got their nose turned up and narcissistic and self-righteous. And, talking about people being negative and cursing too much in their videos. But then you go around perping and gaslighting and trying to discredit people. So what make you think you're any better? You're playing both sides. Or if you talk about the targeted individual program, don't tell any personal experiences. And you just talk about the program. And I'm wondering, where are you targeted at? But then you want people to be psychologically and mentally and spiritually on their toes and scared. Like as if you think you're preaching the word of God. But then you're quick to block and separate yourself from somebody. Especially when somebody trying to reach out for emotional support or help. Damn fake ass cowards. So I mean, acting holier than thou and self-righteous, that's a sin too. Or trying to act like you don't sin. But there's a difference between like some sins or just a difference between just sinning, or somebody that's flat out evil. But they got professed narcissistic fake Christians out here that act like they think they're too perfect. Or better than perfect. Or they got this I'm better than you kind of mentality. So, I mean, so that made me feel like bad and feel discouraged. So then, I mean, I'm not even sure if that guy is an actual targeted individual because he walks around town or whatever doing videos and just talk about the program and may talk about the Christian life or talk about what sins people shouldn't be committing. What sins people shouldn't be committing, but you don't see him being perped, in those doggone videos. But I got like pretty much daily footage of my harassment and what I'm going through and stuff, But people try to make like showing footage of yourself being gang stalking. Being gang stalked. Showing footage of yourself being gang stalked is a waste of time. Not that you have to show everything that you're going through, because they do so much I can't even catch everything. But as I said, when I put the camera on them, or if I put them on film, sometimes that's the only way to get them to stop. I've tried that freaking ignoring bullshit. They intensify or get worse or try something else. Just like any other bullies. They try something else. Or they intensify or get worse. And, people, they just, like the so-called people in authority, they encourage or allow the bullying to go on. They don't care to do anything to stop the bullying, So, far as I know, I don't even know if anyone would come in and swoop in and save the day and help me out and donate me like $10 or $15 or something for dinner. On Twitter, it's like talking to a brick wall, So, the perps make it like as if I'm not even allowed to write a short story and then hoping for a tip or a donation, in exchange for writing a short story or anything like that. They think I'm not allowed to do that. And if you can't spell and you're illiterate, but then you're talking about, oh, your short stories are horrible, your short stories is garbage, nobody wants to read that, and stuff like that, so, if I put so much hard work into my writing just for society to just ignore, and then put whoever promote, they do, they make sure that if they get a lot of success by putting one eye symbolism or some form of satanic symbolism on the cover of their book, and then it's like a bestseller. It's a bestseller for them to have one eye or satanic symbolism on the cover of their book, and then they get all this fake glorification, and they can make a living off of that. The perps won't allow me to live the way I want or make a living the way I want. And they're making it like as if I deserve to be punished or imprisoned with no food now. No food or money. They're making sure I deserve to be punished with no food or money at all. And I'm not even allowed to talk about it. So, yeah, it's scary, that the perps have lied to everybody saying that, oh, Candy's rude or cusses out everybody who donates her. What kind of shit is that? And y'all believe it. So then, yeah, I'm surprised I have containers of water, to drink. And Friday, I don't know what's going on. I told one of the managers about the W-4 form. I don't see, maybe he must have not, he swears up and down the W-4 form is inside the packet. Inside the package and those emails and everything. And I was looking and they don't have the W-4. They did not send me the W-4 forms. So I'm wondering if I'm going to even get paid this Friday. But the direct deposit is linked up. But usually, like most employers, like they usually have you fill out the form after you're hired and before you start your first day of work. But I worked there nearly 2 weeks and still no W-4 form to fill out. So that's their fault. So I mean, but then they had me set up the direct deposit, but I don't know if or how they're gonna take out taxes, you know. So I don't know what's going on with that, and they probably gonna avoid me and want nothing to do with me and don't care or to resolve anything or nothing. So I don't know if I'm gonna get paid on Friday. I don't know if I'm going to get paid on Friday. And the perps will probably be like, yeah, we're going to call up the job and tell your employer not to pay you. Ha ha ha. And stuff like that, you know. But, I mean, nobody's putting these gang stalkers to a stop with their harassment and abuse. Very malicious. Who are you to have the authority to think... I mean, who are you to think you have the authority to dictate that I shouldn't be allowed to eat or have money? Especially if I work for it. And then they lie and say, well, Candy never does any of her work and all she does is hide in a bathroom. If she hide in a bathroom and do a 40-minute video and stuff. No. You know, on this job, I haven't even done a 40-minute video in the bathroom. You know, that will either be like, you know, a quick 5 or 10-minute video, you know, while I'm on my break or before work starts or something like that. But when it's time to work, I'm freaking working. You know, but they're not there. But they just want to try to maliciously try to get you in trouble and destroy you. And they want to try to keep you scared. It should be a crime to deprive somebody of food and you know, a way of making a living. I've tried on my own and they stripped me of everything to where I'm left to be forced to panhandle and beg. As I said, everybody else, they're living a good life. Because if it weren't for all the slander campaigns, you know, if I would have had enough support from ebooks and all that, I probably could have been, you know, living in a house right now. Or had a car from sales from ebooks and short stories or you know, donations or tips from short stories and stuff. But they want to, just like the Bible says, to encourage Christians to spread the gospel to every creature. Well, there's a hate Candy Grandpre, a fake cult hate Candy Grandpre gospel that's floating out there that the psychopathic gang stalkers want to spread to every creature to hate Candy. And actual drug addicts get more support and more love. And people act like as if society has washed their hands of me, like everybody's done with me, like they're finished with me, and there's no hope, and they're just waiting around for me to die. But I'm getting treated worse than a drug addict. Y'all got hope for quote-unquote mentally ill drug addicts. Y'all got hope for them and more respect. They're given second chances in life. Actual criminals are given second chances in life. But y'all just falsely try to say that Candy's just a bad person and that you should want nothing to do with her. Now, let me tell y'all something. I think I Googled something about something gang stalking related. And do y'all remember Orlando Brown from That So Raven? He been speaking a lot of truth against the Hollywood entertainment industry. He was one of the Disney kids and working with Raven Simone and all that. He been speaking the truth against Hollywood, and they've been drugging him up and forcing him with MK Ultra to the point where people try to say he's demon possessed, or they'll say that he's delusional or speaking out of his mind. Guess what? I don't even watch excuse me. I don't even watch Dr. Phil, but it seems like Dr. Phil. I remember years ago when Dr. Phil, they had for Dr. Phil, they had an allegation against him being a pedophile or something, or a child molester or something like that, something sex offender or something, years ago. And people used to make jokes and call him Dr. Phil, Feel. And you hear about how talk show hosts a lot of the times will be MK Ultra handlers. And so and they use the triggers and codes, to manipulate the MK Ultra celebrity. So they had this guy who's supposedly Orlando Brown's manager, in which some people were saying he was a handler. And Orlando stayed with him for 8 months. So he tried to make it like as if he went on Dr. Phil and brought Orlando Brown on there. They said that Orlando Brown was homeless and on drugs and stuff. Orlando Brown is a fucking targeted individual. But some people say he straightened out his life and turned to Jesus Christ now, So, I believe that Orlando Brown is a targeted individual, and I think that no, it wasn't Dr. Phil. I think it was Dr. Oz that Mark Voorhees was on there, and she had the blonde wig and MK Ultra, the mom being her handler and pushed her in, the industry and stuff. So what they said about Orlando Brown, that guy was saying that Orlando Brown burned all his bridges from everybody who tried to help him. Yeah. That Orlando Brown burned his bridges from everybody that tried to help him, and that nobody in Hollywood or nobody wanted anything to do with him. And, he knows what's up. So, and I'm sitting here thinking, me and Orlando Brown need to sit down and talk and have a conversation. So how the hell you come from and they were saying that Orlando Brown made Disney a lot of money. They said that he was such a great actor and everything. And I hear about how the handlers drug up the slave or slip something in your drink and make you act a certain kind of weird. And his MK Ultra was breaking down, and so that they couldn't reprogram him no more. And so they were trying to get him back into Hollywood, and he's, I don't know, I don't keep up with him, but I think, as I said, I was Googling something. And then there was another lady on Dr. Phil. I didn't watch that episode. I didn't watch the whole thing with Orlando Brown either. I just watched part of it. And this female went on Dr. Phil and was talking about, being a victim of electronic harassment, and mentioned about something about seeing aliens or something. Well, I don't touch on the alien thing, but she mentioned about electronic harassment and seeing aliens or something like that. So it's like they got some people who are professed targeted individuals that are going on a Dr. Phil show and shit like that. Wow. So I mean, I heard that they said that Orlando Brown, that was an old episode, and that Orlando Brown is doing better with his life now. You know, but I felt it like they were saying the same thing about him, like what people say about me. You know, that he burned his bridges from everybody that tried to help him. In which, no, motherfucker, we're sitting here fighting against you trying to control and abuse us. And you're trying to lure me back into the fake mental health system. That ain't help. And people were trying to say that that guy was trying to make it like he was trying to get Orlando Brown some help. In which in the Hollywood cult, you know, trying to get him reprogrammed again. That's what they mean by help, to get him silenced. To try to silence him from standing for the truth. And they were trying to reprogram him and trying to call it help. Try to MK Ultra him and call it help. Because his programming was breaking down. MK Ultra. Now I believe that he's a targeted individual if he ended up broken homeless. And quote unquote on drugs. You know, and they put him on whatever drugs that had him talking out of his ass and under the influence. You know, they did that to him. Just like they slipped drugs in the targeted individual. You know, I heard that they slip drugs inside of you while you're sleeping, or they slip drugs into your food and stuff. If you're a TI, I heard it happens to certain targeted individuals, mentioned about the gang stalkers drugging them up or implanting drugs and stuff like that, like MK Ultra. So, everybody's saying that I need help. I do need help, but not the help that y'all trying to bully me into having. I never heard of punishment being help, y'all. Psychiatry is the only, I guess psychiatry is the only so-called medical condition that's treated like punishment in prison. But y'all keep on poking and prodding and harassing, tormenting. Like, the only way we can mentally heal, if you gang stalkers back off and leave us alone, then we can mentally get well. But as long as you're tormenting and abusing and bullying us, then we're going to stay fucked up in the head and mentally and crazy. Y'all did this to us. And then me sitting up here in this motel room, it felt like as if they were hitting me with the directed energy weapons to try to mind control me to going insane and losing my mind. But, I would have wanted to pray, but that so-called fake Christian professed targeted individual that's narcissistic and self-righteous, he made me feel discouraged. But you're not, he's not God. So, but I'm sitting here still being heavily targeted. And I'm considered that bad or horrible of a person that even profess targeted individuals who say that they're Christian. As I said, nobody's fucking praying for me. Nobody's praying for me. And I'm angry, very angry and shocked at this being what I gotta be forced to go through in my life. Now you're supposed to be Christian and targeted, and all you do is narcissistically judge, condemn, and kick you down even harder, and separate themselves from you, and they're not praying for you. Or if they do pray for you, they're praying for your downfall, or they're praying for your demise, or they're praying for you to be punished or disciplined. They're not praying for you to better yourself spiritually. Because we all got flaws. None of us are perfect. And people profess to be Christian. The ones who try to be the most self-righteous, They're the main ones who secretly behind closed doors be doing the gang stalking and satanic rituals. But then front like they're Christian and targeted. Fuck out of here. And stop lying and deceiving. And playing games. You know, so, and y'all call yourselves empowered individuals and God's chosen while you go around perping and abusing and trying to human traffic, lure. I mean, you pretend to be targeted and you participate in human trafficking and you lure another TI that's still suffering. Or if we talk about our targeting, you try to make like we're foolish for talking about our targeting. I mean, or showing footage of our harassment. Or that I'm such a crazy, like I'm such a worthless, crazy loser. You know, I mean, you ain't no doggone better than me. And talk about, oh, I don't watch videos of TIs that are negative and cursing all the time. Shut up. And there's no harassment that you're going through in the video, the fake ass videos that you show. I'm angry right now, y'all. I'm really angry right now. So, professed Christians ain't even trying to help. Because they want to feel like, oh, you burned your bridges. Well, how would you feel like if God gave up on you? And if the Bible tells us to help our enemies when our enemies is down, if you see me as an enemy, no, all you do is avoid me and separate yourself from me. And just leave. And you think you're doing God's work to think you can sadistically punish me and make me suffer. And then try to say, well, you're going to learn the hard way. You're not God to make that decision about me. I'm 38 years old and stripped and deprived of all of my freedom and rights. Basically, barely have the freedom and right to fucking exist.